Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates Season 2, Episode 97. Now, before we begin, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. All right, so we start the episode off with Vernon and Anita. They're at the house and they're trying to have some sexy time or whatever. So Vernon tells her that he has all her favorite things. He has her, he put together a stylist to come and make her look nice. He got her favorite food, her favorite lingerie. He's just, he just wants to be with his wife since he ain't been with his wife in a minute. So they start making out, and then Kat comes in and she's just like, oh no. And she covers her eyes and she's just like, oh my God, I'm going to leave. So she leaves and then they start laughing or whatever. So they start talking about, how they're going to act in the morning when Kat come, for breakfast or whatever. And they're like, we're gonna act like we ain't seen nothing, like she ain't seen nothing and ain't nothing happened. So they start dancing. He plays music for her, and then they start dancing, and they're doing their little dance or whatever. And then Vernon tells her, he wants the night to be wonderful, and if she hurts, let him know. No, if anything feels weird, to let him know, good or bad or indifferent, let him know because he's afraid of doing anything that'll not feel good for her or whatever. So she's just like, she loves that. She says, I love giving directions. And he says, and I love following them. I was just like, they are so cute. So they start kissing again, and they're back on the couch again. They kissing, they taking off their clothes, and then Martin comes in, talk about, oh, I want to talk about the fundraiser. And he sees them and he's just like, oh, like, oh, my bad. So Anita tells Vernon that she's gonna meet him upstairs once he's done talking to Martin. And Vernon is just like, oh, no, 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 no. My grandson, we could talk tomorrow. And Martin was just like, oh, I know how to take my grands told me how to take a hint. So he leaves or whatever. So they're laughing and then they're talking about how they can't make love to each other or whatever. So we see, so before Martin had came, we had seen him. He had taught. He ran into Vanessa at the club. He was thanking her for recommending Donnell to be Samantha's escort, and then they talk about that, and then they talk about what happened the night of the cotillion and everything, and then talking about Derek and losing people or whatever. We see Jacob. He's come home, and Naomi's waiting for him. He's saying that, he's in for the night, but he still has a lot of work to do. She wants him to relax, but he can't relax. They talk about his homecoming, and Jacob praises her for being, strong, but she wants him to, stop praising her because, she's been going through, she says she hasn't been the perfect wife. And then they talk about how she felt while he was gone. She says, oh no, he hates that she had to lie to the family. They talk about the burner phone, and then meeting in the hotel, and then breaking the burner phone and all this other stuff. He wants tonight to be about her. And she tells him what she needs. She wants him to tell her how he's feeling. Naomi tells him that he should be proud of himself. He did what he set out to do. Because of him, people are now safe. And he says, not everyone. He talks about losing Derek and blaming himself, and then how Derek's father also blamed him. Naomi tells him it's not his fault. Jacob is sad for all the things that Derek isn't going to be able to do and experience now that he's gone, and he can't believe that he's gone. So we see Joey. He had called Bill down because he wanted to. He said he may need his services. He tells him about Elon coming after him and being on his neck, and he notices that Bill is shaking or whatever. He offers him a drink to steady his hand, but Bill is like whatever. Joey then issues a threat about you whatever the threat it was, basically like, I can cash in, like there's stuff that I know on the Duprees and all this other stuff. or whatever. Da, 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 da. Yeah, so that's how their scene ended. So then we see Vanessa come in and she's talking to Joey. He asks about the memorial. She tells him how it went and then how she decided to do the scholarship in Derek's name or whatever. She then gives him the message from Jacob because remember Jacob told her that he was coming for everybody that was involved, if he's involved or whatnot or whatever. Um, but she says she trusts. He asked, do you think I'm involved?" And she's just like, "No, I trust what you've told me or whatever." She tells him what's in the gym bag because she has her gym bag with her, and it's basically she had cleaned out Doug's gym locker at the club, and she was talking about all the things that were in the bag or whatever. She wants to go through the house and clean things out. She makes mention of somebody placing an offer on the house, but she decided not to do it because of the kids or whatever. He wants to help her clean out the house, but she wants to do it on her own and she wants to do it for Doug. Um, she she talks about all the things about how her and Doug were when they first got the house and how they decorated it all together. She's thought about redecorating it and just leaving the kids' room and Doug's office the same, but she can't get herself to do it or whatever. She thinks maybe she's the problem. He tells her he'll be there for her. Um, he'll be there for her or whatever. So he gets a call, so she goes to make some drinks, and the call is from Randy, and Randy is telling him that the Impaler wants to meet him. So we see Leslie. She approaches Haley at the club, and Leslie is asking her about Lynette and how she left without saying bye. And then she starts being talking about Bill and Haley said like in the bedroom and all that other stuff. She pulls Haley's card, talking about you're just waiting, you're just biding your time until he kicks the dust or whatever. But Haley doesn't fall for it. Haley tells her maybe she needs a man of her own so she can stay out of her business. And then she tells her, she's dating Malone or whatever. And Haley is just like, the cop? That's who you dating? No, okay. Leslie then tells her she wants them to be friends, but Haley says she'll pass. Leslie takes her phone and shares her contacts and tell her, if um if you ever need anything, I'll be here. And Haley is just like, she won't. And Leslie tells her, we'll see, if you need someone to help you move a body, I got you, basically, or whatever. Um, and no, Leslie was just like, oh, like I have connections. I got Joey in my pocket. I got Marcel. And she'll just like, in case. And Haley was just like, why would I need to know who you know? Why would I need Joey? And she'll just like, in case you need to move a body or whatever. And Bill approaches them. Bill calls her Satan and tells her to find another table or another club. She almost starts to make a scene, but Haley talks her out, stops her from it. She then tells Bill she isn't scared of him, but she will leave for Haley. And he was just like, I don't care what you do as long as you out my face. And I'm just like, finally, we have people who are giving her the smoke that she needs, because it's just like everybody is just, child, whatever. She then says, you can't kick me out of my club or something like that. And it's just like, I wish they would revoke her membership. Like, I need them to revoke her membership, but I digress. So she leaves after having said the last word, because of course she always has to say the last word. Nobody can make her no one can put her in her place. No one can make her like, oh, like no one can do that to her. She always has to say the last word. She always has to be the one to always gag the people. And it's just like, no, I need people to gag her because, but whatever. So, so she's gone. Bill is annoyed, and Haley tells him, he tells her not to let her ruin his day. And he says, my day was already ruined before I got here. he tells her about the tremors and like, how his hand is still shaking or whatever. He wants to call Madison, but she talks him out of it, and plays on his dislikes of hospitals. And so he agrees. So they don't go to the hospital. So we see Kat. She is at Uptown with Chelsea, and she's drinking scotch, and Chelsea wants to know what's up, and she tells her what happened, and and they're both like, oh my god. So they're talking about that. Chelsea says she loves that her grandparents still have that fire for each other. Kat wants to get another image out of her. She wants to get another image in her head because she plays back seeing them or whatever. And she's trying to figure out how she's going to act when she sees them at breakfast the next day. Martin then walks in and tells them what happened. So they get drinks together. So we see them sitting at a table because initially they were at the bar. So we now see them at the table. Martin tells them about Tyrell and Samantha and how the kids are growing up. Kat gives him props for being a good dad. About him being a good dad and him raising the kids well or whatever. They ask where Smitty is, and they want to call him to join them, but then Martin tells them that, he's busy with the story, and he talks about him, doing the story for the plasma ring or whatever. And Chelsea and Kat, Kat remembers seeing because Martin tells him that Smitty was the one who went to Jacob with the plasma ring initially, and then he went undercover or whatever. And Kat remembers seeing them together when they were at the club that one time, and Kat was wondering why those two were together. So she's saying that, and Chelsea was just like, "Dang, you are a vault." And it was just like, exactly. She remembers everything. I need y'all to remember that because, again, because she remembers everything, she remembers how things went. Remember that. So Martin didn't know what he was working on, and Chelsea says, she thinks Naomi knew, because of the way Naomi was acting or whatever. And Kat asked, "How are they doing now?" Chelsea isn't sure, and Kat says, "Well, they're together now, so that should get the healing should start or whatever." So we end the episode off with Anita and Vernon. They are at the Bowman, and because they decided to, sorry y'all, I thought I had this in here, but I didn't. So let me go ahead and get it for y'all real quick. Thank y'all for indulging me. Okay, sorry about that. So we see Anita and Vernon. They are at the Bowman, and they decided to come there instead of being at the house and being interrupted again or whatever. So they're at the Bowman, and they're about to, do their little sexy time or whatever. And they discuss all the times when they used to go to hotels to get away when they were on the road, or when he was, in the Senate or whatever. So before they start to get down and busy, Vernon puts the "Do Not Disturb" sign up on the hotel door, and then he closes the door, and the next thing you hear is, "Oh, Vernon." I was just like, these people are not serious. But yeah, that was the episode, y'all. It was a cute little episode. We about to get into the nitty gritty for the next big storyline that we're about to hit. But yeah, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. Get down in the comments, tell me what you guys thought of this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one.